Welcome to Whips in the Dungeon. I'm Dex, and thanks for watching the two-hand whip technique playlist and the evolving videos on two-hand technique. In this video, I'm just going to simply compare a few pros and cons of throwing single-handed or throwing two-handed. I've been throwing single-handed for 23 plus years, and one of the advantages of single-handed over two-handed is targeting. I can target shoulder, shoulder, butt, butt. I can actually have 4 different targets, and I can alternate between those targets and actually stay on target with finesse. When I move to two-hand whips, I won't say it's impossible to do targeting with 4 different focus points, but I haven't met a whip thrower that does throw two-handed that does that. The most common technique with two-handed is to have a single focus point and to do contact play and finesse with that single focus point. So I'm just learning two-hand technique, and we're going to take this journey together. And I haven't learned to talk and throw two-handed at the same time. So I apologize if I have to start and stop a lot. But one of the advantages of two-hand is you have twice as many whips in motion, so that contact between the top and the bottom is greatly enhanced, okay? Some would argue that having a single focus point is another advantage or another of two-hand work, in that you can focus that action in a single focus point. Of course, the people that are alternating between the heart chakra and the root chakra might disagree with that. One of the cons of two-handed work as opposed to single-hand work is, one of the pros, but it's also a con, is I can develop a really good rhythm with the 2 whips and maintain that really good contact with the bottom while I'm playing. But if I'm also trying to connect to the music, and the music has a lot of syncopation or variation in it, then I'm not going to be able to syncopate two-handed nearly like I can if I'm throwing one whip. I can stall that whip, slow it down, speed it up, slow it down. The stalling and changing speeds of the whip become infinitely more difficult when we move to two-hand work. So there's a few pros and cons. There is definitely a place for single-handed work. There's a place for two-handed work. If I'm targeting the genitals, intimate areas, and I've got a very narrow whip lane to throw in, I'm probably not going to be able to do that two-handed. I'm going to have to resort to single-handed, either bow and arrow or over the shoulder. So we could continue thinking of pros and cons. I'm going to ask you in the comments section to add your pros and cons to two-handed as compared to single-handed.